And welcome to today's episode of the You Are Your Brand podcast. I'm thrilled to introduce our guest, Sandy MacKay, a visionary leader in the real estate industry. Sandy is the founder of MacKay Realty Network and the operating principal of Keller Williams Legacies Realty. With over a decade of experience, he's built multiple successful businesses, including real estate teams, property management ventures, and investment companies. Sandy's leadership philosophy emphasizes collaboration, innovation, and building generational wealth through real estate. In this episode, Sandy will share insights on several transformative decisions shaping his business. We'll explore his partnership with Dan Corcoran, delving into what inspired this collaboration and how their shared vision of collaboration over competition is redefining their approach to real estate. Sandy will also discuss the merger of MacKay Realty Network with Found Spaces Property Management and how this move aligns with his long-term vision for creating value for clients, landlords, and tenants alike. Get ready for a conversation packed with inspiration, strategy, and actionable takeaways. My first question is, what inspired you to partner with Dan Corcoran, given your history and individual successes in the real estate industry? Was there a specific moment or realization that led to this collaboration?
Dan likes to joke that he's been working on me to come into this partnership for 5+ years. Or even 10+ years, because we've known each other for over 10 years. But ever since I really grew up in the KW world, as far as being a real estate and my real estate career, and I've learned so much through him and his company in Hamilton, where our team has operated out of for over 10 years. And so in that relationship building, and then eventually led to me having that opportunity to go open another Keller Williams franchise in Vaughan. And pretty much right around that time where that started to happen, Dan was a great mentor in helping guide me through that. There's a lot of things that you don't know about when you're going to open up a brand new office somewhere. He helped me a lot through that. And we always had it kind of in the back of our minds there is how we could collaborate more and do things a little closer together. So it was something that we've been trying to figure it out, talking a bit about it, and just ultimately probably just waiting for the right moments and where it made sense. And given the way the market's been the last couple of years, a lot of really, truthfully, just quite a bit of pain out there, a lot of realtors struggling, a lot of changes in the economy. We looked around and said, this is actually the perfect moment to lean into this sort of partnership to build something even stronger and better and bigger that we now have the opportunity, we have the eyeballs on that would be drawn to this, where they're like, wow, we're going forward. We're leaning into this. We're going bigger. We're adding more value to everyone. While the rest of the market is going, oh my gosh, how can we just survive? And so we really saw that being that there's a window here. It's kind of like buying real estate right now. It's not always the easiest thing to do. It's like, there's a reason why most people are not doing that. They're retreating. And that's exactly when you want to lean in and push forward and put the gas down a bit. And so that's really what we're doing. Is we're making something here that's even more valuable for everyone that we work with. And it's perfect for us because it's not an overnight thing. It's not like we just met each other and said, oh, the market sucks. We should just lean in on this. We have the benefit of knowing each other for 10 years, of already going through some challenging times together. And so we felt really comfortable and ready to do it. And it just something we've been talking about for a while. And over the course of the last 6 months, really, we were exploring it, making sense of it, and then ready to go. And so we're happily partnered in our two brokerages in a more formal way now, where we can collaborate bigger and just add way more value to the marketplace.
There's a tagline. It's actually a favorite tagline of mine and Bob Lucido's: collaboration over competition. And it seems to me that tagline encapsulates the spirit of your partnership. Can you elaborate on how this philosophy will shape your joint venture and benefit both your clients and the teams involved?
We always believe that the top percentage of people in any industry are not necessarily competing. They don't look at it as competing as much as the rest of the industry does. Really, the bottom 80-90% seems to be competing with each other. The top, they're always collaborating and becoming better and bigger together so that they can continually recreate the market or add value to the market and then keep their other 80-90% at bay. Because when you're able to learn and grow together with the top people, those are the people that are usually making things happen. They're innovating. They're creating more value. And so we believe strongly in that. That is what needs to happen regularly in order to advance the marketplace, the industry, to avoid missteps, all those things. We're looking forward to do that for ourselves and our leadership team. That's one component of it is we have a stronger leadership team now, more well-seasoned, more diverse, different markets that are close together, but still pretty different in terms of being really GTA based with Vaughan, and then more Golden Horseshoe, Burlington through Niagara area with KW Complete. And so those two demographics too are slightly different. There's some subtleties there that are interesting to learn from with each other. There's a lot of investors that come from Toronto out this way to Hamilton, Burlington, Niagara. And so there's great synergies there, but also diversity in how we're running the businesses. And so we're really looking forward to that from our leadership standpoint in collaborating. But beyond that too, all of our realtors now have a great opportunity to collaborate more. We have in the Keller Williams world, something called an Agent Leadership Council, which is the peers in our offices, the real leaders in our offices that get to act on behalf of their peers as agents, and they get to be involved in the decision making. Now those groups can connect a little deeper with each other, and the agents that are really at the top of the offices get a better chance to now connect with other top agents in a somewhat local way, but also just a little bit removed from that super hyper local area. And so we're trying to create the best of both worlds there, as you get the local feel, but also a bit more of the area feel in kind of that GTA Golden Horseshoe area. And it's going to be lots of collaboration, lots of big events, lots of exciting things to come.
It's a good segue to my next question. In what ways do you envision combining the strengths of Keller Williams Legacies and Keller Williams Complete to navigate the current challenges in the real estate industry?
We have two leadership teams coming together. That means extra broker of record support, for example. That means extra leadership that is at different seasons of their own journeys, right? We have a company that's been around for over 10 years. We have a company that's still relatively new, 4 years in the business. In those companies, there's a variety of different leadership growth opportunities. There's a company that's a little more seasoned, and there's a company kind of young and energetic, still on the just past startup mode. And so with that, you get two different feels, different energies, and also different maturity levels to an extent. So we're looking forward to combining those and creating the best of both worlds with that. We do have, like I said, 2 different regions as well in that. And there's lots of different ways that we're going to be coming together and creating awesome events that can happen still relatively local and create a lot more ability to recognize agents, to showcase them, to help them market and connect with their people and their clients. And then also on the back end that is a little less seen from the outward facing is just our ability to create better systems and processes with not necessarily more people, to extent more people, more leadership team members, but also just stronger systems because they're a little more fine-tuned in some ways, and they get to experience kind of 2 different markets and 2 different points of feedback now that we can just take what we have and constantly be making it better so that our agents and their clients get to benefit from that part too. Just more seamless experience when they're working with us.
I know it's early days, but have you seen any positive reaction from the teams themselves?
We did a couple of events in the same day last week. We did a kind of a real launching of this, and we had some of our agents, we brought a few agents to both sides. So we had a few of our agents coming to Hamilton from Vaughan area. We had a few of our agents coming from Hamilton, Niagara to the Vaughan area. We really wanted to showcase some of our talent that we have in both offices and get our agents a chance to engage with each other. And you can see the synergies right away there, because someone, talking about the market in Fort Erie to a Toronto-based agent, as close as they are, and as much as you think that they would have an idea of what the price points are and what the opportunities look like, something different about just hearing it from the person that's boots on the ground there and hearing them talk about what a typical investment property sells for and what those numbers look like. Right away, we had some eyeballs in our office there in Vaughan of agents going, holy crap, you can get properties for that cheap still? Wow. Right away, then they start thinking about who's the client that they might need to mention this to. And before you know it, fast forward a couple months or weeks, and all of a sudden there's conversations about how we can help people get into the market in Niagara that maybe weren't getting into it otherwise. Interesting dynamic of that already. We saw that happening last week, which is pretty cool. I think that's going to happen a lot. I think that's the most obvious version of how the realtors are going to interact with each other, is through that, either that investment angle or the new kind of first-time buyers that are just trying to get in the market and can't figure out a way to do it in the GTA, and maybe not realizing the opportunities that exist half an hour farther outwards, where maybe they don't even live in the property, but they at least get in the market through it. Maybe it's a rental property and they continue to rent in Toronto. all sorts of opportunities like that, which to me is one of the most important things for first-time buyers to understand, because they have to find a way to get in. And a lot of my posts are about this lately, is they got to find a way to get in the market. The window of opportunity is not going to get much better than it is today, I don't think. And they got to find a way to do that. Educating and getting our realtors talking more is just going to help make that happen.
You get best of both worlds. Now, that isn't the only change that happened. You're like just full of news today. You've got another merger between Found Spaces Property Management and MacKay. Now, your decision to merge MRN with Found Spaces Management, it's a significant shift. What motivated that transformation, and how does it align with your long-term vision for your business?
Ultimately, if you're running any business, it comes down to how do we add more value to our clients and customers, right? That's really the name of the game. If you can't add more value, then you're certainly not going to be receiving any more value or any financial gains in return. It's got to be about value add. And so we were just assessing things, and really the ultimate decisions around this kind of came over a lot of reflection over the holiday season recently, and just looking back on the businesses over the last couple of years. And we realized that there's a big opportunity here to just row in more unison together. We've always had, for a bunch of years now, we've had the realtor team and the property management team quite separated and different branding. It made it a lot harder for our teams to connect. When you have two different brands, they're clearly two separate companies, right? But when you have them all of a sudden now unified under one brand, the leadership team is working back and forth now together on both sides. All of a sudden, you see some more teamwork happening. You see them talking more about ways to add value more to the clients that we have. And our clientele is very similar. We have a lot of tenants that should be buying properties at some point. We haven't communicated to them enough about that. We're starting to communicate a little more on that front. We have a lot of investors that are looking for more opportunities to buy more properties, increase their portfolio. We can, of course, help them on the realtor side with that. We can service our realtor clients who come in and now need help with management services, with finding tenants. We can help them with that side now too. And just having all that under one roof creates a little more efficiencies and ease of operations so that we can focus more on innovation and growth and finding ways to add more value. And ultimately, one of the big things that we see a gap is in the marketplace right now is financial education and how we can help. It's a great opportunity to help people get into the real estate market as one part of that, and or expand their portfolios through strategic financial operations and creative strategies. There's a huge window of opportunity for that. And we, over time now, that's one of our goals here, is to develop a better program to help educate our clients, our tenants, and just show them the path that they could go down if they get into this education a little bit more. And ultimately, that's a really exciting thing to help people go from maybe they just moved out into their first rental property from home, and now they're trying to find that way to get in the market for the first time, or they're trying to find a way to build up the down payment they need to get in, or repair their credit. All those things, there are options out there right now, but they're few and far between. And they're usually from the financial side of things, the financial companies. And so those companies are typically selling some sort of products and stuff, we're selling real estate. But we believe that having a great financial system in your life creates an opportunity to buy real estate, of course, but at least it's not directly putting them into financial services and products. It's actually just helping them on that side, educating them so that they have the option to maybe purchase real estate or just be involved in the real estate side in some way, shape, or form, or don't even do that at all. Just be great tenants, because a well-educated and systematized tenant who has good financial foundation in their life is going to be a way better tenant to deal with for our landlord clients. And then so our investors are going to get a better experience as a whole there as well. And so that is one of the challenges we're always navigating in the property management side, is how do we create less divisiveness between the landlord and tenants so that overall we can have a collectively win-win experience there. And we think education is often at the root of any sort of divisiveness in life. And so that's something we're working on now going forward, is building out more of a system around that, more programs. And you'll see a lot of that coming out in the next year from us, is a lot of that financial education piece.
Found Spaces emphasizes education, responsibility, growth through initiatives like Accelerate program, for instance. How will these values integrate into Found Spaces Realty, and what opportunities can clients expect from this merger?
So there's a couple of pieces there. We really have kind of two clients in this. We do have a lot of realtors that work with us that are in a way our clients, and then we have our buyers, sellers, investors as clients, and tenants as clients as well. And that's why we're excited about the financial education programs. It not only helps our buyers, sellers, and tenants, it also helps our realtors be smarter with their money, build up, because any full commission-based person, there's a little more element of understanding finances there in a lot of cases than there are with someone who's making a consistent salary. And so the commission-based salesperson generally needs to create their own system, and a lot of them don't have that. So we're doing our best to empower them as well to lean into these programs, and so they can learn it and then also pass it on to their clients. And I think that's a huge part of it, again, is that financial education piece. Both teams have systems around this, but together they need to be elevated. And so that's what we've been working on a lot. We brought in a really key team member, Anna Marin, who was working with us on the brokerage side for the last four plus years. She's come in as our director of operations to help synergize the whole operation. And she's a key asset right now that's really leaning into this and helping us through some of these systematic changes. Her experience leading over 120 realtors and coaching and training them, and also being a realtor herself, having a lot of operational, she brings a unique set of skills there to the table. So we're excited about her in that role too. And we're really leaning in on keeping them connected and making sure that the clients at the end of the day get a great experience. The realtor clients as well now get the opportunity to not only focus on realtor buyers and seller sales, but also a great opportunity to help on the leasing side too, which is for a newer realtor especially a great opportunity to generate some instant income when they come into the industry. A leasing opportunity generally has a 1 to 2 month turnaround, whereas a buyer or seller transaction is really like 3-6+ months turnaround in the process. So much faster path to earning some money there too for the realtors, which is something that we've had amazing feedback on right away.
Fantastic. What role does Kate's expertise in property management play in shaping the future of the new format of Found Spaces Realty? How do you see this merger impacting both landlords and tenants?
Kate has worked with primarily the management side of this for 8 years now. And so we have a great foundation of clients there, of systems, and at the same time, we wanted to free her up to focus a little more on the education parts, on some more innovations that we're working on. And so in bringing in someone like Anna to essentially replace Kate in a lot of those areas, it frees Kate now to be a little more creative. And so there's some cool things we're working on there. We have some cool programs coming out here in the short term that'll be exciting there. We have a whole financial education program. We also have a partnership program for investors that's coming out soon, which will be focused on educating people on creating partners to invest together, which is something Kate and I have done a lot with over the years, and just educating them on how to do that in the right way so that they don't run into legal challenges, partnership issues, really making it so that they can scale their portfolio. Maybe when you're coming together with a partner in an investment scenario, you really want to make sure that you're aligned on the vision and that you really have a good plan there. So we're going to help with that side too, which is going to, of course, help our investors to do more, invest more, or build more wealth ultimately. And then, like I said as well, too, that right now, the way that we're set up in Ontario, it's a very challenging market for the tenants and landlords to coexist and have a great partnership there. And the system needs some work, to say the least. In all that, we got to do the best with what we have. And so creating ways that the tenant can have a better experience so that the tenant's living in the landlord's property, and the landlord wants them to have a good experience. They should want them to have a good experience so that they treat the property well, so that they pay on time, so that they minimize any maintenance repair issues. And so we believe strongly that educating that tenant, communicating with them, those are probably two of the most key components there, so that they, in turn, look after the property on behalf of the landlord. And eventually, if we educate them well too, that tenant moving on is actually a good thing for everyone too. If they can build up a down payment, repair their credit, whatever they might need there to advance in their journey of home leasing or home ownership, we believe over a few years' time, that's a really great thing too, is if they come, have a great experience, go buy a house at some point, that's a great story to tell too. And usually that's a good thing for the landlord anyways, because now they can reassess, they can do some repairs maybe, they can increase rents if the market's gone up. Synergies there, lots of ways that we're looking at that experience ultimately for the tenants and the landlords. And in all that, we think there's going to be a lot more value there that we can create and just create that better experience that is really missing right now in Ontario, especially.
Just as I'm listening to you, I can hear this sort of natural pipeline of people who are developing through the rental properties and moving into ownership.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? There are a lot of changes happening in our world right now, and it's different structures, different partnerships. They're really actually working in synergy, because having our management company now come together with our realtor team and be in the brokerages more often to create more education for our realtors now as well, offering them more property management experience or options. Just ultimately, I think they're all kind of rowing in good synergy now. And personally, that creates a little easier life for myself. But also, I'm seeing it now day to day with our teams more communicating together. It's going to be a way better experience for our clients, but it's going to be way more valuable for the industry in general on like almost every front. So it's really exciting. We're so excited to be doing both these collaborations together now. It couldn't be happening at a better time, because the market is like kind of wonky right now. So it's a great time for us to be working on this. And like most down markets, most times where you're going through some challenges, it really is just a recipe for opportunities to be created. And so that's the way we're looking at it. And we're doing the best with what the market offers us right now, which is ultimately, I think we're going to look back on this time and be really thankful for the challenges, because it's created, I think, just way better opportunities for everyone. Most importantly, our clients that we work with every day.
That's fantastic. Now, as someone who's built multiple successful businesses, what lessons have you learned about leadership that are guiding you through these major changes in this operation?
You know, everything rises and falls with leadership, and leadership in tough times is 100 times more important and valuable. And I've seen some interesting graphs lately with just society as a whole and how much fear is out there. And the fear dial is really cranked up right now. And for all the reasons that everyone knows about, economic and political primarily. And when those times are out there, it's one thing to say to yourself, I'm going to be a better leader here today. I need to show up. You really do need to be purposeful about it, because you really need to show up with confidence and as much certainty as you can as to whatever the next step is, the next move, the next phone call to be made. Everything that you do becomes so much more important, because people are just hoping that someone comes and saves them, gives them some certainty or inspiration to do their job and move forward next in their life. Because it's really hard in these times of uncertainty. It's really hard to just do whatever the next right step is. And so what I've realized is that it's extremely important to lean into that and bring lots of energy and certainty to the table every day as much as I can. And so I've really been guarding my energy too, and really making sure that I am able to do that, because that's also a lot of pressure to do that every day. And it's hard to do that when you have other things going on in life that are dragging you down. So I'm doing my best to making sure that I show up as best I can every day, so that our team can feed off that and do their best version of that every day too. It's fun.
Before I let you go, I just want to say, looking ahead, how do you see collaboration both within your teams and across the broader real estate industry transforming the way that businesses operate and thrive in challenging times like this?
We are making some big adjustments here with some of these partnerships. We're not the only ones. I've seen a few others out there doing similar. I've seen there's quite a few now teams that have come together and formed partnerships or restructured things. There are some other brokerages, not many. On the brokerage side, that's a lot harder to do. There's a lot more restrictions. There's franchise agreements. There's egos that often get in the way to sabotage those sort of opportunities. We aren't the only ones doing this. I think they're in a contracting industry, certainly, or economy as a whole, really. I think everyone's looking for ways to be more efficient. Everyone's looking for ways to create some excitement that is lacking right now. I'm not surprised that I've seen others trying out something like this. I will be surprised if a lot of them succeed. It is very challenging to keep the egos out of the way, to combine one company with another. It's a rare thing to do, because there's different core values there. There's different ways of doing things that need to somehow come together, or that is going to create a lot of disruption, and you're going to lose key team members through that process because they don't like the new way that things are going. We'll see how it all plays out. What I'm excited about is that we're bringing together two Keller Williams franchises, which are all about the missions, the visions, the values. Everyone's really in line with that. Dan and I have worked together for 10 plus years. We know each other really well. We're comfortable in that, good or bad. We're comfortable working with each other. On the team side, my wife and I, Kate, similarly, we've been together for 12 plus years. worked together for 12 plus years. We have two companies that we've both basically been a part of indirectly for 8 plus years. We believe that we can really win at that. While others, I hope they do well too, but I know there's going to be some more disruption probably in a lot of those cases. And of course, there'll be some disruption for us too, but it'll be on that foundation of really aligned values and culture. So I think that's going to help us win.
I can see from the way that you've built your teams over the last number of years, people like Mike Johnson and Anna Mara and Sharon now at KW. There's some really strong individuals that you can trust in the industry. And that makes it, I don't say it makes it simpler or easier, but it sure does help when you know that you're handing off to somebody who knows what they're doing.
It's huge. That foundational trust is so important, and so important in teams, especially when you're working together with anyone on anything. You have to have that trust, or else you're simply never going to allow anyone to go own anything. They're always going to be checking in, making sure that there's going to be micromanagement happening. It's going to be all those sorts of things in the way. We really believe in building great teams, and that rises and falls with how you can develop leaders. And if you can constantly be developing better leaders and more leaders, I think that's one of the keys I've also learned in this experience of late, is that you really need leaders around in tough times, especially. The more you're going to easily get through and navigate whatever disruptions are coming your way. And most of those disruptions right now, especially, it's not like we can control them. So what can we control? We can control our ability to help and support our leaders grow. And that will move on down the chain and move right into our clients' experience that they get with us as well.
This is fantastic. Congratulations. And I just got a feeling that you're going to do really well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandy, for joining us today and sharing your incredible journey, insights, and vision for the future of real estate. Your passion for collaboration, innovation, and leadership truly shines through. And it's inspiring to see how these exciting mergers are set to elevate both your teams and the experiences of your clients. I also want to extend my best wishes to you and Kate as you embark on this transformative chapter with Found Spaces Realty. Your combined expertise and dedication are sure to create a lasting impact for landlords, tenants, and the broader real estate community. Thank you again for your time, Sandy. Wishing you continued success in all your endeavors. And thank you for listening in.